Alright, so what's up guys, it's Sergeant M. Taking a look again at some trigger control. I'm going to be using 3 airbrushes for this video. I'll be using my Velocity, my Dagger, and a siphon feed 155 Anthem. I'll be using some transparent blue from Auto-Air, spraying just on a paper towel at 40 psi, and I'm just going to demonstrate the differences in lines that you can get between these 3 airbrushes, the fine lines, the wide lines, and how the fine lines actually compare between the 3 brushes at the same pressure, with the same paint, same reduction. So, you hear me say all the time, and I got this from Primo, that, it's all in the trigger control, how fine your lines actually are. Yes, the nozzle does help a little bit if your trigger control isn't really, what should I say, up to speed or up to par. If your trigger control isn't that great, yes, the finer needles are going to help. The needles and nozzles are going to help, but you can get the fine details out of the larger needle nozzle setup with a little bit of trigger control. So if you don't know, the Velocity has a 0.21, the Dagger has a 0.35, and then the Anthem is a 0.4. So let me get set up and we'll start spraying. Alright, so I'm just using a couple of drops of this per airbrush. We're not going to be using much. And then on the Anthem, I'm actually going to be using a bottle adapter. This is right from Badger. These are really nice. They fit right onto your bottle. This works for the Spectratex and for Auto-Air and Wicked. Fits right on there. Now, if you had a 2-ounce bottle, you could obviously take and cut the bottom of that stem off, because it's it's all the way down here. So if your 2-ounce bottle, obviously you'll have to take and cut the stem. So there we go. A couple drops of paint in the gravities and the bottle adapter hooked up to the siphon feed. So I guess we'll go ahead and go with the Anthem first, since it's sitting right there. And remember, this is Auto-Air, just transparent blue. The part number in that is 4241. And I did reduce it a little bit in the bottle. There we go. So I did reduce this a little bit. I would say it's about, I don't know, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 paint to reducer. So the first thing I'll do is do the Anthem, the Dagger, and the Velocity. Okay? Alright, so let's do thickness first, because the fine detail is what everybody really struggles with, especially new guys at the airbrushing game. So the wider lines that you're going to get with the Anthem, it's a 155 with a 0.4 setup. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay. There's the wider lines you're going to get with it. Now, get in real close. Again, this is at 40 psi. And you're seeing, I didn't cut this, so you're seeing it all live. I didn't play with the reduction. I didn't play with the air pressure at all. So let's switch over to the Velocity, which has the 0.21. Uh-oh. Going all the way forward in my Velocity. So that may give me some issues when I go in to do the fine lines. Do a couple wide lines here. Yeah, and I can tell I'm still spraying paint, even though my trigger should be all the way forward. So obviously I need to clean my velocity. Alright, so fine lines. And that's going to be all one continuous line because my needle is sticking back. Alright, and now we will switch to the dagger. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and leave the crown cap on. You can take it off. It does come off. It will spray just fine, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. I did just rinse these brushes out right before I started shooting this video. Didn't put enough paint in the dagger. But you can start to see that there are a lot of similarities, even though the velocity and the Anthem, you know, the Anthem's tip is almost twice the size of the velocity. So you get that trigger control going, you get it down, you get your trigger finger under control, and no matter what size tip you have, you're going to be able to pull some fine detail. Alright, got some more paint in the dagger. Alright, now for the fine detail with the dagger. Remember, this is 0.35 in the dagger. You know what? I'll give you a comparison too with the crown cap off. So took the crown cap off. Now that does expose your needle. So if you're getting in really close like this, you obviously want to be aware of where your needle is in relation to the surface, because you don't want to go bending it. A dagger needle is only, what, $7 or $8, so it's not that expensive to replace, but if you're doing this, you're in the middle of a job, and you don't have a spare needle on hand, you could possibly have an angry customer if you miss a deadline. So always be aware of where your needle is in relation to the surface if you're spraying with that crown cap off. Put it back on. But if you're spraying with it off, just like I was just there, be careful. Why do I say that? I've done it. Alright, so bring your camera around here. You guys can see Anthem, dagger, velocity, wide, fine. And you can see those lines are, they're pretty crisp, they're pretty tight, and they're actually pretty consistent between all three of those airbrushes. So there we go, just a quick little one. Hope you guys take something away from it. If you do, please let me know with a comment here on YouTube. You know, like the video, favorite it. That sure does help me out a lot. So you know, your subscribers see what you commented on my channel and on my video, and maybe they will get something from it too. So there you go, guys. If you like it, again, leave me some feedback. Like it, comment, favorite. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you next time.